welcome to Natural Wellness with Essential Oils. I'm so glad you could join us tonight. I'm going to be kind of going over the introductory portion in this video, just talking about just wellness in general, and then we'll kind of jump into the essential oil part of it. So I'm really excited about this. I get so excited about helping to empower people and really take in charge of their wellness, and make small changes that can really make a difference in how they feel and how they'll feel in the future. So I hope you guys are excited and ready to talk about how to support our health with essential oils. So let's jump into it. Do you want to be truly healthy? Health here in the US is great at keeping you alive, but it is not so great at keeping you well. We are naturally inclined as a society to focus on symptoms and to feel satisfied when those are gone. And generally, that's what modern medicine does. It's prone to prescribing things to take care of the symptoms, but not really looking to find the true root of the problem and taking care of that. But symptoms are our body's way of waving a flag and asking for help. Real health goes beyond just managing them. And instead, we want to identify areas where our bodies are not functioning at 100%, do our own research to look at the root of the illness, and then support our bodies in its healing process. I want to empower you to go beyond symptom management and to take control of your own wellness and slowly make those lifestyle changes that result in true health. So what does true health give us? It gives us freedom, for one thing. When you're truly healthy, you're free to focus on your dreams and your purpose. We all know how just getting a cold can throw us off track, at least for a few days. Health issues are very difficult to live with, and you know if you've lived with one, and they can become much of the focus of life. So let's look at some of the ways we can move towards being truly healthy. I promise most of these are simple changes that can have a big impact. So this is an introductory class today. I can't possibly cover everything, the entire scope of health and wellness in one class. So look at this class as a jumping off point to give you some things to think about, and to help you get started in doing your own research and give you some great alternatives in products that we use every day. And I'm also, at the end, I'll tell you about a little series that I'm going to be doing that will kind of help you dig deeper into your own wellness. So why am I so passionate about this? I have really lived a very traditional modern American diet and lifestyle in my youth and during college, and gradually become more and more aware of all of the chemicals and toxins in our homes and our food. And as I started making some changes, most of which were around the time I gave birth to my first child, I realized that I wanted to be a better steward of my own body and to leave a legacy for my children of health and energy and wellness. I wanted to give them a foundation to build on and an advantage that most children now aren't really going to have, which is good health going into adulthood. It's said that this generation of children could be the first basically in the history of the U.S. to live a less healthful and shorter lives than their parents. And I don't want that for my kids. Now, almost 4 years into motherhood, I'm seeing how all these different things can contribute to or subtract from my wellness. I know what it's like to be so tired and to feel so terrible that I can't focus on my priorities well. I can't enjoy my children and my family like I want to, and I don't have anything left to minister to or give to others. And instead of starting the day with energy and a positive outlook, I was starting my days with a groan, like dragging myself out of bed and thinking only about how today was going to be so hard, and when was my husband going to get home, and how can I cope? And I don't want to live like that anymore. And I'm starting to see the difference and the changes in my own body, and I want you to have that too. We're going to talk about chemicals for a few minutes, and then I want to share some of my story about how I got started. There's the chemicals in our food, our personal care products, and environment have a huge impact on our health. Taking steps to reduce our exposures to toxins go a long way to help us to stay healthy and be healthy. There was a Canadian news channel, CBC, that reported in their show called The Nature of Things that on a typical cleaning day in a typical home, levels of chemicals in the indoor air can be hundreds or even thousands of times higher than the outdoor air in the most polluted cities. In fact, the indoor air pollution levels be high enough to trigger an inspection by health and safety authorities if it was in a workplace setting. Many of the chemicals contained in household cleaning products are the same used in the industrial settings, and many scientists are now becoming concerned that long-term low-level exposure to chemicals may be just as dangerous as a short-term high-dose exposure. They also worry that we do not understand the impact of exposure to the cocktail of chemicals that's found in household air and dust. And they're starting to shift the way they look at factors that can cause cancer and other diseases, and they're starting to study the body burden, which is the amount of chemicals that our bodies are carrying, that have been just, our bodies have been absorbing and absorbing and absorbing. And then they're also, the effects of chemicals can be multiplied in our kids because they're growing so quickly. When Dr. Martha Hubert, a pediatric neurologist at Harvard Medical School, said that one of the greatest human dangers from the slew of molecules comes when a child's fast-growing organs, budding central nervous system, and hummingbird-like rapid metabolism get exposed to and voraciously incorporates small amounts of foreign molecules doing biological damage that may not surface for years. So I have I'm going to be having a post with a graphic for reducing your toxin load. So when you can kind of look at that, I'll post that one here after this video. So when you go take a look through your kitchen and your bathroom and read some labels. What's like the ingredients in the products that we all have in our homes. I was shocked at how many chemicals were in my house. And then I had the same problem when I go to the store. We pick up product after product only to put it back on the shelf because it was packed with chemicals. There's a free app called Think Dirty, which I'll also link to, that you can download and then you can use to scan the barcode of different products, and it will give you the safety ratings for each product based on the ingredients. And I was shocked to find things that I thought were relatively clean that say natural on them that were not at all, that got like a 1 out of 10 toxic, like 10 on the toxic scale, that I thought were good because they said natural on it. Eliminating chemicals may feel like an impossible mountain to climb, but it's not as hard as you think. So we're going to offer some different suggestions of changes you can make starting today that add up to make a big difference. Alternatives can be tough to come by, and you have to think outside the box, which is one reason I'm so thrilled to have been introduced to Young Living, because they offer some fantastic alternatives. I really quickly want to talk about a couple of the other things that I think are super impactful for your health and your wellness, and super beneficial for really helping you to stay healthier. And those are sleep, nutrition, and movement, like exercise. Sleep, I've been doing some research on sleep, and it is so important. And it's usually one of the first things that people are like, oh, I don't have time to sleep, or, new moms who just really, their babies are up all the time. So it's really hard. It's really hard to prioritize sleep, but it is so important. You're not doing yourself or anybody else, any favors by gypping yourself on sleep. And it's really one of the best things that you can do. One of the best changes that you can make is prioritizing the amount of sleep that you're getting. There's so much research. I'll go deeper into that in my wellness series that I'm going to be doing. I have a lot more information on that, but I just can't. We don't have enough time here. But sleep is so important, and so I really want you to start looking at how you can prioritize getting, a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep, but closer to 8. And that may look like in your season, that may not be possible if you've got, new little baby and that kind of thing. But it's still possible for you to prioritize sleep over other things, and to anytime you have an opening to take a nap, even taking a nap can really help. So really, like, our bodies heal themselves while we're sleeping. And lack of sleep can cause so many other issues. It's cause more stress and weight gain and lower your immune system, which then allows you to get more sick in the first place. Then the other thing that is super, super important is nutrition and what we're putting into our bodies. We want the food that we eat to be as unprocessed as possible and really nourishing and full of nutrients, for our bodies. And so another way that you can really make a big impact on your health and your wellness is by sorry, that phone call thing interrupted my video there. So food, it can make a huge impact on your health and wellness if you really take the time and the energy to make sure that you are cutting out as much processed and like grain heavy, white bread, white flour kind of food, cutting all of those things out. The sugar is terrible. Sodas, all that kind of stuff. The more processed it is, the worse it is for you. So and then sugar is just bad for you in general, and we tend to consume way more sugar than we really think. So that's a super important thing, and a super kind of easy change to make. And it's not easy sometimes to stop eating those things, but it's a change that you can make that will have a really big impact. So cutting out those foods and really focusing on foods that are whole and fresh and unprocessed. And then also I wanted to just exercise. Obviously, we all know that that's good for us, and that it'll can really help to boost our health and wellness. So getting, and that can look like just moving more, not sitting down as much, standing up, walking around your house, doing things, just the movement. It doesn't have to be, an hour pumping, the treadmill at the gym. It can be, throughout the day, just moving more, walking more. So those are things that I also wanted to make sure, like, those are really, really important things for increasing your health and wellness. So I didn't want to leave those out, but there's so much that can be said about that. And in my Facebook series I'm going to be doing, we'll go more into detail on those things, but we just don't have time here. So in August of 2015, I gave birth to my daughter, and I'd been trying for a VBAC with a midwife, but ended up back in the hospital for another C-section. And then 3 days after leaving the hospital, I ended up back again with a blood clot in my leg. Then my incision got infected. Then I proceeded to get hives all over my whole body for days on end. And then a month later, I got hand-foot-mouth disease for my son, which you do not want to get as an adult, just FYI. My immune system was just tanked, so I spent the whole rest of the winter getting sick over and over and over again. Because of that, this past September, I decided that I really wanted to get serious about building up my immune system and to go into the winter season with a well-stocked natural arsenal. My sister-in-law had mentioned an oil called Thieves from Young Living, which was a great immune booster, so I thought, well, great, I'll check into that. A week later, I spotted a class at the library for back-to-school essential oils for kids, and I thought it was worth going to. And the couple doing the class just happened to be with Young Living, so I got to smell the Thieves and Stress Away, which I just loved. And a week later, as I was deciding whether to get the kit, a blogger friend of mine posted about Young Living essential oils on Instagram, so I decided to go for it, and I ordered my kit, which I completely fell in love with. And I've been seeing such amazing results with the oils, and I've been able to eliminate chemical after chemical from my home with just these little pure drops that God has given us. It's been such a great journey, and developed my passion for educating about essential oils and a chemical-free lifestyle. And I'm not an expert, and you don't need to be an expert to make better choices for your health and your wellness. It just takes some research and some experimentation, and there are many wonderful reference guides and books and resources available about how to use essential oils. And I believe that when you give the body the support that it needs, then the body can heal itself. So I'm going to stop here, and the next video is going to be about essential oils, what they are, and how we can use them. So I'll see you there.